Hi, and welcome to Achievable, a better way to study for the Series 7 exam. I'm Justin, one of the creators, and in this short video I'll be walking you through our study experience and giving a brief overview of why our adaptive learning platform makes us so much more effective than traditional study methods. In a nutshell, Achievable leverages data analytics and learning science to create a personalized study program for you, and it's accessible on your phone, tablet, or computer. Once you sign in, you'll be taken to our dashboard, which will look something like this. There's a lot of information on the screen, so we'll go through each component in turn and explain what they all do. The bread and butter of studying with Achievable is over here in the Available Materials section. When content is assigned to you, it comes in two main forms, lessons and reviews. Lessons are used when we're presenting information to you for the first time, and as you might guess, reviews are used for repeat presentations once you already have some knowledge and need to boost your retention. The lessons and reviews are pretty straightforward, but let's dive into it. First off, you'll notice each screen here presents a single piece of information. This helps make the content manageable and really focuses on the core concepts. In both lessons and reviews, every screen will have this little code over here. And if you have a question, just make a note of the code and send an email our way. One of the best things about Achievable is that it's not just a web app. We've actually built everything from the ground up to be easy to use on your phone, on the go. Whether you do it on your mobile device or your computer, it's all synced up to our servers, so you can switch between the two and pick up right where you left off. So if we exit out of here and return to the dashboard, you can see this whole section is optimized for mobile as well. There's no app to download. Just visit achievable.me on your device and the layout will adjust for whatever size display you're using. On to the reviews section. Each screen in here is essentially a mini quiz on some piece of information. When you're using it, it's going to feel a lot like a pretty simple multiple choice or self-assessment quiz, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. As you interact with the app, we're tracking your responses and sending that data up to our servers for analysis. This is where the real magic of Achievable happens. In the back end, we're actually creating a unique model of your memory using your responses to estimate how well you know each topic. Based on this data, we can then calculate when you need to review the material again to get optimal retention with the least amount of time spent. Back on the dashboard, you can view your content progress. The levels you see here are a user-friendly display of our memory estimate data. The higher the level here, the deeper you know the material. Since you're coming in with some previous knowledge, on your dashboard, you'll already see some progress here instead of starting from zero. Low levels aren't necessarily bad, they just mean that you'll forget more quickly. So you should try to fill up those bars in order to make sure you remember everything on test day. Down here is the upcoming workload calendar, which shows you when new material is coming up to study. This is a good time to talk about one of the core methodologies we use, spaced repetition. It's well known that cramming isn't an effective method to learn a lot of material, since your brain gets overloaded. Instead, you need to break down the content, spread out your studying over multiple sessions. If you know something well, you can wait a while before reviewing again, but if you're just learning something new, you'll need to review it again pretty soon. This is difficult to manage with ordinary flashcards, but since we're tracking a lot of data about your responses on Achievable, we can schedule these reviews out for you to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck in terms of study time. Now, the additional reviews in here are released to you 24 hours a day, but we don't expect you to come back every hour on the hour, and we definitely don't expect you to come back in the middle of the night. That said, your time will be most effective if you study close to the assigned times, and it's best if you clear out all your lessons and reviews sometime each day if possible. Since it's mobile friendly, your morning and evening commutes might be a good time to study, or maybe you'll find it convenient to check in when you have spare time throughout the day. It's all up to you. Over here we have some statistics, including your total study time, as well as your exam readiness score. You can think of exam readiness score as a live quiz aggregate of all the material you learned so far. The higher this number is, the better you're going to do on test day. Last but not certainly least is our compliance calendar, which shows how well you've been keeping up with the material in our system. You want these numbers to be as close to 100% as possible, since that means you're studying on time and you'll get the most out of it. One additional resource is up here under exam practice. This extra app has a whole bunch of questions that more closely follow the format of the actual exam. These questions are generally more difficult since you'll be applying the raw knowledge you previously learned. There's many suitability questions in here and a good amount of math-based questions as well. One of the great things is that we dynamically generate most of these exam practice quizzes, having different numbers and answers each time. With traditional quiz banks, your brain unconsciously remembers only the correct answers, but you can practice with our tool as much as you want, since it's dynamic and quizzes you on the underlying concepts. And finally, if you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to us using this comment box, which will go straight to our email, or feel free to reach out to your instructor. So, that's all for now. We hope you enjoy using Achievable.